Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Gentle Mastery Podcast. Thank you again for joining me. In this episode, I'm talking to two types of people. They tend to think of themselves as being vastly different from each other, and in many very real ways they are. One person is highly resourced with all the trappings of success, including wealth and material abundance. The other person has been systemically kept from those success milestones. But whichever person you consider yourself to represent, you have something quite powerful in common. The internal resource you were born with. I call it your consciousness signature. That's what's coming up in this podcast. But first, if you're someone who's built wealth, reputation, and results, but you're no longer willing to chase success that feels empty, if you know something more profound is calling, and you're ready to leave the kind of personal legacy that money alone can't touch, I have something for you. This is a private 12-week journey to redefine success from the inside out, and applications are open now. The link is in the show notes. If you know you're ready and just need the right resource to unlock your personal legacy, now is the time. Now let's dive right in. Let me start by saying, whoever you are, you have everything you need. That might sound hollow when you're sitting with the frustration of not getting what you deeply desire, despite having access to so many resources you've counted on your entire life. Maybe you're the founder who built and sold a business for 9 figures, wondering what's next beyond another startup, knowing you want to bring real human-level change to the world, but not knowing how. Or you may be the former C-suite executive with decades of leadership experience, financially secure, and your family well taken care of. Still, you're yearning to be recognized for more than just a stock symbol. You're frustrated by the lack of resources to build a meaningful legacy, yet you're unsure why those resources aren't already yours. Or maybe you're someone who's had systemic oppression or life circumstances keeping traditional pathways to success out of reach, watching others access tools and opportunities that aren't available to you. And you're right, the playing field isn't level. The system we're all living in doesn't treat all of us the same. Here's what I know to be true. The resources you seek, the ones that will unlock your deepest desires, aren't found in your bank account, your network, or your achievements. And they're not being kept from you because you're not part of the 1%. What I've discovered is that they're encoded within you. That discovery was solidified for me during a walk around Lady Bird Lake. I had what can only be described as a massive download, what we used to call an epiphany. My own personal legacy became undeniable. The people who find their way to me aren't lacking resources. They're incredibly resourced, even if they don't know or believe it. But they need a guiding, knowing light to help them find a resource that's new to them, a harbor within where personal legacy lives. What they're missing, what you might be missing, isn't another strategy or system. It isn't having more money. It's the shining light that reveals your unique personal legacy. The navigational map, if you will, that shows you not just where you're heading, but what you're here to illuminate for the world. As you probably know, I work with a few systems over here. One of them is human design, and in my own human design chart, I have what's called the cross of consciousness. In simpler terms, I know how to be that shining light for others. For those who aren't familiar with human design, you can think of it in these terms. Like Luke Skywalker, I know how to use the Force. I can see the invisible currents that will carry you safely to your personal legacy. I can illuminate the timeless truths within you that unlock boundless possibility. But here's the other thing. You don't need me to find your harbor. You carry your own unique, energetic blueprint, your own constellation of gifts, your own path to the legacy that's calling you forward. For those of you who've discovered plenty of financial resources, you know how to leverage capital, connections, and opportunities. You've built something significant. But the question that's driving your days now isn't about building wealth. It's about building meaning. The frustration you're feeling is real. All your usual tools aren't working for this more profound need, because legacy isn't built the same way businesses are built. It's not about strategy and execution alone. It's about alignment with who you truly are at your core. Your personal legacy lives in the intersection of your deepest gifts and humanity's greatest needs. But finding that intersection requires a different kind of map, one that reveals the consciousness signature you're here to step up to and share. For those of you building your foundation, you may have had systemic oppression or life circumstances keeping traditional pathways to success out of reach. You're watching others access tools and opportunities that aren't available to you. And you're right. The playing field isn't level. The system we're all living in doesn't treat all of us the same. And you still have everything you need inside you to create a life of extraordinary beauty. Look, I'm an out gay man, so I'm not dismissing the very real barriers we face. I'm saying that while we work to dismantle those systems, you don't have to wait for permission to begin unlocking your own internal power. I know. I did it myself. Your human design and gene keys open the door to how you're specifically designed to live with power in this world, make decisions, and create impact. These aren't tools reserved for the privileged few. They're your birthright. Start with the understanding of your energy type, strategy, and authority in human design. These three elements alone will revolutionize how you approach every decision and action. Decisions and actions hold the aligned power you can use anytime you want to make a fundamental change in your life and the world. Then explore your profile lines, channels, and incarnation cross. Each piece reveals another layer of your unique consciousness signature. I'm including specific resources in the show notes to guide your exploration. And please ask me your questions in the comments. I'm here to support your journey of self-discovery. Here's what I've witnessed again and again. The moment you begin to understand how incredibly resourced you are through your consciousness signature, portals open that you never could have anticipated. Opportunities appear, connections form, clarity emerges. Because when you're operating from alignment with your actual design, you become magnetic to precisely what you need. For some of you, one of those portals might be working with me directly. For others, it might be a business opportunity, a creative project, or a relationship that changes everything. The specific portal doesn't matter. What matters is that you're positioned to recognize, decide, and walk through when it appears. Whether you're sitting on significant financial resources or you're building from the ground up, the invitation is the same. Make the decision now to discover and use your power. Your true power isn't in what you've accumulated or achieved. It's not in overcoming what you lack. It's in recognizing and embodying who you already are. The resources you seek, the clarity, the purpose, the path to meaningful legacy, they're already within you. You just need the proper guidance to unlock them. Gentle mastery is the strongest way to unlock your personal legacy. The wisdom I've uncovered is powerful, and you are more resourced than you know. If you're feeling a pull right now, if something profound inside you is stirring as you consider what legacy you're genuinely here to create, I want you to trust it, because that pull is your soul calling you toward your authentic purpose. Here's what I've learned after working with founders, executives, and visionaries, the Robert Kiyosakis, the Rick Scotts of the world. They've built extraordinary success. But there comes a moment when you realize you're done. Done chasing external validation. Done building things that don't feed your soul. Done pretending that the next achievement will finally satisfy the more profound longing you feel. You've reached what I call the intersection, that pivotal point where your deepest gifts meet humanity's greatest needs, where you stop asking, how can I be more successful, and start asking, how can I leave the world better than I found it? Every person who finds their way to me is standing at this exact intersection. They're incredibly resourced, incredibly capable, but they're searching for something no amount of wealth or status can provide: the actualization of their true legacy. Let me share what this transformation looked like. Elle was a Tesla project manager, brilliant, successful, well compensated, but she was also spiritually starving. She had everything society told her she should want, but she felt disconnected from any deeper purpose. When we first talked, she was seeking what so many of my clients seek: a way to transition from meaningless accomplishment to meaningful fulfillment. She knew she had more to offer the world than optimizing project timelines, but she didn't know how to access that deeper calling. Through our work together, Elle discovered her consciousness signature revealed that she was meant to be a guide for others, someone who could help everyday people find meaning beyond their paychecks. Today, she's a soul advisor, assisting others to make the same transition she made from corporate success to authentic service. She told me, "You quite literally changed my life. For the first time, I wake up knowing my work matters in ways that go far beyond a salary." That's what happens when you align with your authentic design, your consciousness signature. When you stop trying to fit into someone else's definition of achievement and start embodying who you're truly meant to be. But here's what I see happening in the world right now, what I call the great perturbation. Systems are falling apart. The old ways of doing business, of measuring success, of finding meaning, they're not working anymore. And while this can feel anxiety-inducing, it's creating the most profound opportunity for transformation we've seen in generations. If you have a family, you're probably feeling this even more acutely. You're looking at the world your children and grandchildren will inherit, and you're asking yourself, what kind of legacy am I leaving? Is it enough to have built wealth if I haven't built meaning? Is financial security enough if the world itself feels increasingly insecure? This is precisely what one of my clients, Jay, was grappling with. He's a successful executive with a family, and he came to me because he was wrestling with these very questions. He'd achieved everything he thought he was supposed to achieve, but he felt a profound responsibility to leave something more, something that would contribute to a better world for his children. Through our work together, we discovered that Jay has a special gift as part of his consciousness signature. It's called refinement. He instinctively knows how to take the rough stone of an idea and polish it into a beautiful, multifaceted gem. We also learned that his soul's legacy is designed to use that gift, to help him make Eastern consciousness philosophies shine for his high wealth contemporaries. That's his true legacy. Not just the wealth he's accumulated, but the way he can model conscious living for his family and contribute to healing in his community. The beautiful thing about this work is that it's not about abandoning what you've built. It's about infusing it with deeper purpose. It's about recognizing that your success was never the end goal. It was the foundation for something greater. Your legacy isn't something you create from scratch. It's something you uncover. It's already encoded in your consciousness signature, waiting for the right conditions to emerge. Your human design reveals your unique energy combination, how you're designed to make decisions, create impact, and live in alignment with your highest potential. Your gene keys show you the specific gifts that emerge when you transform the patterns that have been holding you back. But knowing your consciousness signature is just the beginning. Embodying it, living it, creating from it, that's where the fundamental transformation happens. My consciousness signature led me here. I'm designed to help others remember who they truly are beneath all the conditioning and expectations. That's why people like L and J find their way to me when they're ready for this deeper work, when they're ready to stop living someone else's definition of success and start actualizing their own. This isn't coaching. This isn't consulting. This is a sacred partnership. When you're ready to activate your legacy, you're not just changing your career or your goals. You're aligning with your soul's purpose for being here during this great perturbation. You're stepping into your role as someone who can contribute to the healing and transformation our world desperately needs. The people I work with at this level understand that the most profound changes happen not through force, but through alignment. They're not looking for tactics or strategies. They're looking for the activation of their authentic essence, the part of them that knows precisely how to create meaningful impact in a world that's hungry for genuine leadership. If that's you, if you're ready to move beyond meaningless accomplishment to meaningful fulfillment, then I want you to understand something profound. You already have everything you need. What you're seeking isn't more resources or better strategies. It's the activation of the consciousness signature you've been carrying all along. The world doesn't need another successful person operating from old paradigms. It requires you, fully alive in your authentic essence, to create from your soul's deepest wisdom during this time of great transformation. I've created something specifically for visionaries like you who are ready for this level of work. It's a private 12-week journey that goes far beyond anything you've experienced before. Not because it's more complex, but because it's aligned with who you're truly meant to be. If you're feeling that pull, if something in your being is saying yes to what I'm describing, then I invite you to learn more about this journey. Use the link in the show notes. Read about the specific processes and learn more about the results of this profound work. See if it resonates with the legacy you feel called to create. Because here's what I know. Your legacy isn't waiting for the right moment. The right moment is you saying yes to becoming who you're truly meant to be during this tumultuous time. Everything you need is already within you. Now, it's time to embody it.